Hello and welcome to another Matchday vlog with the Football Pyramid. I'm here at a freezing cold Royston Town this afternoon where it's Derby Day as the Crows welcome Bishop Stortford to Garden Walk in the Southern League Premier Division Central. It's been tough going on the pitch for Royston this campaign, however you never know in a derby. So let's get amongst it and see what this day has in store. Neil, thank you very much for having me down there this afternoon, buddy. It's a real pleasure to join you. It was a bit frosty over there. Your chairman was showing me earlier this morning, but we've got a game, thankfully. What I wanted to talk to you about was the history of this club, your connection with it. Just talk me through it.
Yeah, sure. So this year the club celebrates its 150th anniversary. We're the third oldest club in Hertfordshire, formed in 1875. Been at this ground here, Garden Walk, for about 90 odd years now.
Wow.
We own the ground, which is a great position to be in. We have looked to move a couple of times because we'd like the kind of trappings that come with like a modern stadium. But no, I mean, we're here. It's a great ground full of character. A little bit of a slope, which sometimes works in our favour. But yeah, it's a proper real football ground.
Yeah, no, it is, and that's apparent as soon as you walk through the turnstiles there. You can see the turnstiles itself look really, really historic.
Yeah, they are.
You've got that sort of old school squeeze to get through, and I really enjoy the historics and
the
traditions.
old clicking sound that you
yeah, absolutely.
Get.
You've got all that. Like I say, I really enjoy the old historics and the traditions of football grounds like this. So, how important do you think it is to retain those traditions of a football club?
It's crucial, really. I mean, I know there are a number of fairly new clubs and stuff, and and I'm not taking anything away from them, but I think a lot of them would kill to have our kind of heritage, really. 150 sort of unbroken years as well as the one club, no name changes, anything like that.
There's no AFC or anything here,
no,
is
no,
there?
No. And the big thing with this club really is that those 150 years, it's been part of the community of Royston. It started out being, the players were originally sort of like publicans and furniture makers and all things like that. And, although we don't have so many sort of Royston lads now, we do still have a number either coming through or playing in our reserves that play at step 6 and one or two in the step 3 side here. So, yeah, I mean, this club really, the big aim of the chairman and all of us on the board really is that it becomes a huge part of the community. Obviously, we like results. We love winning. Not enough of that this season. But yeah, I mean, the important thing is that this club is here long after we're not, really, and that the club is there as a community asset. We work very closely with the community. We have a community program that works closely with a lot of local schools and schools outside the area as well that get our name out there.
Wow. You touched on it a couple of times there, key word being community.
Yeah.
And clubs at this level especially have to be really intertwined with that community because you do find yourself in it on occasion, the centre of the hub of the community, don't you?
Yeah.
And I know you've been doing a few things out in the community recently, something to do with a museum or... Just talk me through that.
Yeah, well, obviously, with it being the 150th anniversary, we wanted to mark that in a number of ways. And one of the ways we did that is we spoke to our local museum here in Royston. Yep. And actually, it's only just finished, but for 6 weeks in the run-up to Christmas, we had a museum that put in title sort of like Royston Strong, which celebrates the 150th anniversary, gives a full timeline, and we've got some amazing pieces of memorabilia lent to us and some from our own archives. Amazingly, we never even knew this existed. We had one of our supporters there, I think it was their grandfather, had still had his shirt from the 1948 season.
Wow.
Which was amazing, really, and so it's fantastic to be able to see that kind of history. So we have that. We're also wearing a special badge on our home and away shirts this year. There are pin badges available. We've got a few other events coming up this year, and also like all visiting teams to Garden Walk this year get a commemorative pennant saying celebrating 150 years.
Lovely. Really nice chucks, really nice gesture that is, to be fair, mate. But look, we do have to talk about it on the pitch.
Yeah.
We do have to go there, unfortunately.
Yep.
It's not been one of your more successful seasons. Now,
No.
the club is obviously still at step 3, the highest that you've been in your history.
Yep.
And I know you've been at this level now for a few seasons. Generally speaking, you've been sort of known as mid-table and you pushed in the playoffs a couple of times. This season, unfortunately, not the case.
No.
However, there is still a real friendly, vibrant buzz about this, and I think that speaks volumes about the club.
Yeah, and I mean, rightly or wrongly, maybe sort of like us as supporters and a lot of supporters, we realise where we are. We realise that this is the level that we're at. We realise that perhaps some clubs have greater resources than we'll have or ever have.
Yes.
But as a board and the chairman himself and previous chairman and stuff, as I said, we wanted to make sure that this club is sustainable. It's never going to be at risk of going under. So we try to do the best with what we can, with what we've got. Obviously, like a lot of clubs, we'd love bigger gates.
Yeah, of course.
We average around about 350, 360. Obviously, with this being a local derby, we should see a few more today, but any more that we can get here would be great, and I'm a sort of convert to non-league football, really.
Like a lot of people, myself included.
Yeah. I mean, I used to come down here on the off times when West Ham were playing away, and I couldn't get tickets, and I was a season ticket holder at West Ham, but I've long since given those up, and just find this so much better, so much realer.
Yeah, and I think that's really important because a lot of people are gravitating towards non-league football, and I think the reason for that is the money at the top level.
Yeah.
And look, you get down to this level as well, and I feel like we're losing a little bit. We're losing more and more of our football pyramid for money.
So. Yeah, I think so. I think that's obviously slowly and gradually sort of like dropping down. Really, that those extra bigger budgets.
Yeah, it really is.
National league now. I think pretty much every team in the top national league is full time. Vast majority in National League North and South.
Yeah.
I
think it's literally bar the odd one or two.
Yeah, so I mean, that can only, that means that, some of these things and these expenditures and people are like, well, that's step 2 money, that's step 3 money. It's just getting harder and harder. But we're going to keep plugging our way. We'll stick to our philosophies and principles here that, as I say, we're not going to put the club at risk.
No, you completely respect that, completely appreciate that. Listen, on the pitch today, you said it's a bit of a local rivalry, not your most local rivals.
No.
But I know there's a lot of Royston boys that have moved over, backroom staff, the manager, a couple of players, the lot, right?
Yeah, there's lots of ex-Royston in their side and, as I say, on their bench. And, Steve Castle, their manager, obviously has a glorified place within this club. He led this club fantastically for 10 years or so and brought us numerous promotions and fantastic FA Trophy runs and a promotion season that was probably only curtailed by COVID, and also the Southern League Challenge Cup, when we had 1,300 here. And so
wow, big number.
And we're still the holders of that because they've never run the competition again. So
well, that's something you can take home with you and say, listen, nobody's ever going to do that.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
So that's good, right? But yeah, listen, appreciate you having me down here again. Wish you the very best of luck on the pitch today and moving forward. I hope to see this club continues to flourish, and I think you're holding this club, you, the chairman, and everybody on the board. I think you're going about it absolutely the right way. So
appreciate that.
Keep it up, and thank you very much for having me.
Support your local non-league club.
Absolutely agree. Nice one. Thanks, Neil.
Cheers.
Neil,
After our chat with Neil, it's time to get into the match action. It's a chilly one this afternoon, however the sun did its job in thawing out the pitch to ensure that we have a game. There's plenty at stake in this one, including the local bragging rights. So, Royston Town versus Bishop Stortford, let's get it.
Flip it. Yes! Yeah!
Okay, so full time down here at Royston Town, and I'm pleased to report that we have got a deserved 2-1 home victory. I'm joined now by Gaffer. Thank you very much for joining me, mate. Just give me your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, no, it's nice to get a win, mate. They've been few and far between this season. We've fallen on a little bit of tough time, so it means a lot. 3 points is always important. It's the hardest thing to do in football, but yeah, maybe a game of two halves. I think we felt that, and what I said to them at half time is we've given them two presents. I felt that maybe the centre forward should have been sent off for the late tackle. And then throughout all the amount of chances that we had, we only went in 1-0 up, and that kept them in the game. Tactically, they went with a more of a traditional 4-3-3 second half, and I think we may be worried about their change too much. And we where we asked the wing back to then try and jump onto the fullback and the outside centre half to come over, I don't think we kind of got that transition right, and it caused a lot of problems and forced us to change. Poor goal for us to concede.
Yeah.
Lad holds his hands up, but organisationally not quite there. But we managed to see the game out, and when your luck's not with it, mate, you make most of every single point you can get. You know,
absolutely.
They can probably feel a little bit like they deserve something, but I felt that we dominated the first half. So
yeah, no, I would agree with that assessment. In fairness, and like you say, when you are in the position that you are in the league, it is difficult, and to see out games when you take the lead 2-0 up, and then obviously you can see 2-1, it could make things a little bit nervy. But in fairness, your boys didn't look like a team at the bottom of the league today.
No, and do you know what? You're not the first person to tell me that. I think, and
that doesn't surprise me either.
No, I think I'm quite an honest person. I think I assess things sort of truthfully. I would say Alva Church here first half and Spalding away second half of the two games where we've been absolutely battered. Yeah. Other than that, I think we've been in games, and you can't get away with many mistakes at the level, and there's a lot of sliding door moments that have happened, officiating decisions that have been like, how many times can it happen sort of thing, that have gone against us. And then the injuries, mate, like I haven't got bad players, and we need a few more. We've got 7-8 injuries. We've picked up another 2 today, so it's almost like we're losing a player a game at the moment. So that affects, because the majority of the boys that are out injured would start. Yeah. You can only sustain a certain amount, and when it's a different. We did an analysis session. We've averaged 24% of the squad out injured per game. Wow. So it's when you are the number for what it is, and when you're the stature of the club that we are compared to the powerhouses in the league, you need your best players playing, and we haven't been able to do that. And listen, there's been times where we've been poor. I've got it wrong tactically. The lads have got it wrong technically, and we are where we are. But I'd said it to you off camera. The club's incredible, and none of the fans are giving the boys any grief, and they just support them, and I think that's how our football should be.
You know? No. Again, that's another thing that I'd agree with. In fairness, mate, but you look at it, and I think it's important that when you do make these decisions as a manager, that you go away and you're able to reflect, and you're able to come back to the table and say, you know what, I did get that wrong.
Yeah.
And I think your honesty in that is really, really key to turning the club's fortunes around on the pitch.
Yeah, I think so. I think the fact we've got a sensible chairman, you know, who we've shown loyalty both ways, but he isn't knee-jerk. I think the fact that the fans are seeing that we have a team where the lads are genuinely trying. The players' group chat's called No Dickheads, taken from like the New Zealand sort of motto and mantra. We just don't stand for it, really. We just make sure that it's good. The guys down here just want to see people trying, and win, lose or draw, as long as there's been effort gone into it. And I think you've seen that today. We've got bits wrong. We've got bits really, really right. And it's gone our way today, you know, and we don't move, but we've just learned to enjoy the moments, because we know they are few and far between. But it could be the start of something, you know. It all has to start somewhere, and hopefully today gives us that platform to then try and kick on a little bit.
Yeah, no, mate, I really, really hope so. But your connection with the club, because you've been about for a little while, haven't you? You came across here from St Albans originally.
Yeah.
Started out as assistant to your opponent today, actually.
Yeah.
You're in the hot seat now for the last couple of seasons. For you, what has that journey been like, going from sort of the assistant and then taking the reins?
Yeah, the title don't bother me. It's always been about having the ability to impact it and whatnot. And obviously we've had 2 years where we've punched above our weight, finishing 10th and 11th. I think we've punched above our weight, and maybe it's caught up on us this year, and it's landed wherever it's landed, and we're trying hard to get out of it. But yeah, I mean, it's been great to sort of learn from someone that is super experienced in the industry.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was wet behind the ears, and I got a lot of freedom to impact the side, and then just, I guess, things happen, right? And I found myself here, and Steve's found himself there. So it culminates in, it adds a little bit. I can't say it influences me today. I didn't want to have the conversation with my chairman after the game if we'd lost, to be honest. So that was the main factor.
Whatever works at the end of the day,
Oh.
innit? Whatever gets you motivated.
Yeah. But no, look, it's enjoyable. I always say it's like the worst paid job ever. It is full. You're a part-time manager, but you are full-time, and I probably credit to my backroom staff who I wouldn't even class it as that. We're all in it together. We work 24/7 really, and I'll often wake up to a conversation in the group chat, just sort of 12-13 messages deep, and they're talking about something, or we're talking about a player, or we're talking about a moment in a game, and they'll want to get in. Like, we get here at, the lads get in 1:30, we're here at 12, and Tuesday's training's at 8, we're here at 5:30, and just, it's nice that you've got an environment like that, and I think that's important to trying to get a little bit of success. So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. I knew I wanted to go into management quite early, to be fair. I would have stopped playing at 28. Ironically, I probably had my most successful playing days from 28 onwards. Okay. But I knew I was a champ manager geek as a kid, so I knew I wanted to go into management quite quickly.
There's nothing geeky about that. I'm gonna defend you on that one.
48 hours. I won the World Cup with China, so it was in me.
mate, listen, if you don't go all the way now after that achievement, then believe you me, there's something wrong with the Championship Manager sim. We're gonna have to go to Sports Interactive and break down the whole setup from scratch. But listen, mate, honestly, I really do hope that today provides a springboard that you boys need. You deserve the win on the pitch today. Derby as well, so it added a bit of fire. But yeah, you boys deserved it, mate, and wish you all the very, very best. It's a nice Christmas present, isn't it? Thank you. Absolutely. Good luck with everything. Cheers, man. Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Well, it's Derby Day delight for the Crows as they run out deserved 2-1 winners in a real battle of a contest. These boys did not look like a side rooted to the foot of the table today and turned in a performance to be proud of. This is a fantastic club run in the right way, which is evidenced by 150 years of continued existence and success in all areas across that period. Thank you to everyone for watching, and happy 150th anniversary Royston Town Football Club. I'll catch you all on the next one.